Hello, hi, now it's working. Well, hello, sorry that took about 6,000 years. Wow, what a day. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I definitely drank too much last night and I am moving at a glacial pace today. Also, yesterday, I definitely reset my stream key and like password on Twitch because of the leak that happened, and then I had to like reset everything. I even have my tablet set up at my what is that, sewing machine? So that I can see chat and everything. Hello JD, also hello Steamy Rose, how's it going? How's everybody doing this morning? I'm tired, but I'm here. Oh my gosh, I do have to say, I have like a big window behind my computer and there's like a few trees like across the street there, and they're like turning orange and gold and it's just beautiful, and it's like kind of windy outside, so it's like blowing leaves everywhere. It's just like the picture of autumn outside. It's positively delightful. But how is everybody doing this morning? Hopefully well. Okay, so I think the plan today, oh my god, is my music straight up not even on this screen right now? No, it is. Okay. I almost didn't sleep. What the heck? Got up at 5 a.m., went to Mount Royal in Montreal to take shorts to the sunrise over downtown. So I'm dead inside right now. I can't even believe that you're awake right now. I wouldn't be. But I appreciate the dedication to the drone shots. I bet they look absolutely fucking amazing. Are you, I mean, obviously you're posting them on your YouTube, so I guess I will see them then. Or unless you post them in Dead's Discord. But the shots I took were worth it. Hell yeah. Also, I feel like I'm dressed the way I feel. Like I have this like kind of grungy, like torn up like a sweater on, and then I have like these pants that are like torn up. I think that's just how I feel this morning. Going well, egg sandwiches for breakfast. Oh, that sounds delicious. Drink some tea. Have you ever been to a First Watch restaurant? I don't know. What is that? Also, egg sandwich for breakfast sounds so good. Okay, Isaac. I swear to God, like no matter what, if I am in here, like they are underneath my feet. Like, there they are, just laying underneath of me. Oh, you already have a few pictures up on Instagram? I'll have to check. Car. Oh, wait, what? Hold on, I'm a little bit blind. I need to zoom this in for my old lady eyes. Pretty good, working from home and drinking coffee. Okay, the one is like throwing me off. Serissa, I'm assuming. Fangy, hello. How's it going? I think I need to switch some audio around actually really quick. So let's see. Carissa, yep, you got it. Okay, perfect. Because for some reason my brain wanted to say Carl, but I was like, that can't be right. Okay, hold on. Gotta fix my audio because I just realized that it's not really like set up right. You know what I mean? Wait, where's the music? Is it not playing? No, it's playing. Okay. But wait, what the fuck just happened? Oh my god, I'm buffering. Okay, well, let's do 360. I can't believe I'm like buffering on my own stream. Like, what even? What? I go for your loud noise. Got the Halloween Kills ad. Oh my god. Once again working, also maybe reporting my job to the labor force. Oh no, what happened? Until next week's check to remedy the situation. Next week's check should have. There's overtime for last week, 4 from this week, and if I don't, I'm reporting it for unpaid wages. I would, 100%. First watch, breakfast, sit down, kind of like Panera Bread, but a class above. Ooh, no, I've never even, like, heard of it, but that sounds delightful. Holy shit, that is fucking loud. Way down. Whoops, that was like way fucking louder than that needed to be. Sorry, I apologize for that. Okay, let me catch up on chat here really quick. Oh, Carissa, I almost fucking said Carl again. I literally don't even know why. Thank you for the follow. What, I'm even deafer now? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I didn't realize my fucking volume was up so high, dude. Oh my god. I don't know why my brain really wants to turn that 1 into an L. I'm so sorry. Okay. First watch is legit. Okay, well, I will have to see where, fucking, I'm even deafer now. Yeah, I am pretty sure I'm even deafer now also. Should be, okay, you know what? We are different people. We don't need the same commands just because we're fucking married. I do need to spice up some of my commands though. But I feel like I'm also in the same boat as Dad where I'm like, should I just go to fucking YouTube? I don't know. The fucking leak just really stresses me out. Ooh, this looks fancy. What's a location? There's probably none near me. Okay, I guess sure, allow my location. Is that even safe? Who knows? Hello? Are there even any near me in the United States? Are they even in the United States or like, what's up? Dude, there's nothing any near me. Where did you go to one? Said location. Listen, that one is fantastic though. Okay, but like, I mean, I don't disagree, but also that was like, Rowan did that. That was like Dead's thing. Like, that's like his thing, okay? 2 different people. Okay, this music is like way too fucking aggressive for me right now. Ohio, Carolina, Florida seem to have them. Okay, so Ohio is probably the closest one to me, which is very far away, I think, if I know my geography, which I don't. Oh yeah, that's fucking far as shit. My phone just like isn't connecting to the internet. It's like half connecting. I don't know what's going on here. If I ever, which I don't know, who knows where life will take me. We're like considering maybe at some point moving to Florida. So maybe I'll be able to get to go to one. Wait, what? You were actually like shorted money? Thingy, I would have been, yeah. They get fucking one shot to fix it. And I'd be like, fucking out of there, dude. Have them in Kansas and Missouri. In Kansas, oh, and the Missouri side, okay. Yeah, that's like 17-hour drive, I think, from where I'm at. So, wow, that's very far away from me. Hopefully, like, if we make it somewhere else in the United States, I'll be able to go to one. That would be nice, because I do love Panera Bread. Working 44 this week, so you should get 7, right? 3 for last week, and then 4 for this week. Not sure if it's good enough for that kind of a trip. Look, I live in North Dakota. I'm looking for any excuse to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, get me out of here. Okay. Well, yeah, okay, let's do some sewing. All right, Isaac, you're gonna have to move. I will step on you. That's just a fact of life. Why are you guys staring at me like that? So expectantly. Yeah, Thingy. Definitely, I mean, definitely a person who says, like, give him a chance. Okay, he's literally, like, Isaac is so, like, look at him. I'm, like, stepping underneath of my table, but it's like, of course, I don't want to disturb him. For Panera, there's 4 in North Dakota. No, there's, like, Panera here. Like, I go to Panera when they're open and have staffing, but it's the first watch place. I love how you're like, there's 4 in North Dakota. Okay, fucking chill. It's like, they said it's like Panera. It's called for, oh, he just straight up left. Okay, bye, Isaac. Fing is gonna go mafia style debt collecting on the asses. Yes, he is. Okay, I guess I need this out of the way. Oh, thank you, Isaac, you good boy, for staying out of the sewing zone. Oh, okay. No, I've definitely been to Panera way too much here. Just making sure. Cool off. Also, wait, okay, ooh, I thank you, past me, for saying I did not leave seam allowance for the hem. Oh God, sometimes I'm just like, great job, dude, good job. Okay, but like truthfully, like in North Dakota, there just like isn't, like a lot here in general, and the stuff that is here is kind of like far away. It feels like no matter where you live, like you have to drive like a fucking hour to get anywhere. Freya, what are you looking at? I feel like they just see me talking to the camera. Do you know you can buy their broccoli and cheese at broccoli and cheese? Yeah, I actually did. I saw that at Walmart. And I thought I could buy some Panera soup, but then I saw the price of it and I was like, for that fucking price, I'll just wait till they're open. And then they were never open again. It's like the staffing. I know the staffing is like really shitty like everywhere. But it's like weird. And I know their staffing is probably like really unpredictable, so they can't change it on Google. But on Google, it says they close at like, Redneck Mart. Okay. I don't have a lot of choices here in North Dakota, okay? Also, I'm like poor now. I'm a poor person. They have cheap things. Cheap groceries. I'm trying to like survive here, dog. But yeah, like on Google it says they close at like 9 or 10. And then I showed up one day at like 7. No, I think they're supposed to close at like 10 or something. I feel like I showed up like a few hours before closing and they were just closed. Ooh, love this fabric, thank you. It's a double gauze. Oh, now Freya's underneath of me. Okay. It shows up a little more orangey on screen. It's a little more of like a dark rose color, I would say. It's a little bit more on like the red side than it is the orange side. It's not so like salmony. At the same time, I'd still buy it because you get a slightly bigger serving size when Panera offers. I mean, I guess that's fair. I usually can only do a you pick 2 from Panera. You get a half a sandwich and like a scoop of soup, and I'm fucking like fully stuffed. I cannot eat very much. My tummy gets full. Looks like a great texture. Yeah, it has like this really cool like organic waffle texture, because it's like, I don't know if you know what like double gauze is or not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but it's like the gauze fabric that's really thin. It's 2 of those pieces like stuck together, and there's like every so often there's like a little thread that's woven that weaves them together. And it has this just like cool organic like waffle texture. This does. I have another double gauze. It's like a slub, a slub weave. I feel like this is just maybe a bunch of jargon. But that one has like this cool, like, I would call it like a natural linen, like woven texture, where it has like some really big pieces and thin pieces, and it looks cool. Rose color, 100%, baby. This I actually, when I bought it online, I thought it was a totally different color. And then when I got it, it was like a lot more like pink when it arrived, which is like fine. I think it's a good color. I think it'll look nice like with my skin tone. But online it looked like it had a more like muted, like, I don't want to say like a nude color, but like it looked like it had like a muted kind of brownish base. So it seemed a little more like a pinky skin tone almost kind of color. You know what I mean? And then I got it and I was like, that's very fucking pink. So I had to do the whole uncle who's essentially acting like a dad, okay, to my niece for skipping school, and had her crying because I made a deal with her. Oh no. She wants to make cosplay and furry stuff. The deal I made was if she doesn't miss a single day of school for the rest of the year, she gets a sewing machine. Oh my God, that's so cute. My mom, she heard me say it, her eyes lit up and started bawling because I said I believed in her. That is so sweet. I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm like too tired and hungover to handle my emotions right now. I can't, Fangy, I can't. That is like so stinking sweet. Like that's just adorable. Oh my God. I also like love, how old is she? Just out of curiosity, not trying to like pry. Just, I don't know, just wondering, cause like, depending how young she is, like how, I guess how early she's like getting into sewing. 13? Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Cool. What am I doing? Okay, sorry. My brain is like not focusing today. Yeah, that is like so cool. I hope that she fulfills her side of the deal, and she gets that machine and sews her little heart out. I mean, you can imagine I am an advocate for sewing. I need, Dad is awake and making food. I can smell it. What am I doing? Oh, I need tape. My thing is like falling apart. I can like, oh fuck. I feel like my hangover cure as of late has been having miso soup in the morning and Alka-Seltzer. And then usually I feel like okay. I just feel like I have to like load my body full of salt, and then oh my fucking god, these dogs. And then I like feel better. But so we're out of Alka-Seltzer, and I just woke up like absolutely ravenous. So I only had miso soup. Because then I was like, fucking shit, I'm late for the stream. Like I gotta fucking get to getting. And I am starving. I heard a bait teacher said she's the brightest kid they've seen in years. Oh, I feel like that's always hard when you have a kid that's like basically too smart for their own good. You know what I mean? Like, because they get bored so fucking easy. How did I lay that? I should have taken a picture of how I laid this out. Oh no. Okay. I'm panicking. Dead inside, if you were lurking, I'll take some bacon and pancakes. Make that 2 on the pancakes. You know what? Make that 3 on the pancakes. Fuck. I'm like, for real though, I'm a waffle person. I have any experience with dyeing, wanting to dye a white hoodie, but it's polyester. Get RIT dye for synthetic fibers. Do not get regular fucking dye of anything. If you, whatever dye you get, basically just double check that it can dye synthetic fibers. I know RIT dye has like a synthetic dye now, like they have that, it exists. That's what I would do. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, so that's what I would do, because I'm sure because you're asking the question, you already know synthetic dyes are like really hard, or synthetic fibers are hard to dye because, well, they plastic. Thanks, you're welcome. Okay, how did I do this? I think I did it like this. Is that right? That doesn't like feel right in my heart, you know what I mean? She's terrified of the current situation, and her mom is still in the hospital. She doesn't want to get sick. So she can be able to visit her mom. Oh, her mom, granted. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's hard because, like, in my experience at least, kids either go and do exactly what their parents did, or they're able to, like, recognize their parents' mistake and, like, be better, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's also hard, you know, at 13, like, how do you even... Okay, what the fuck? How did I do this? And then I have all of this up here? What's happening? Like, hello? Because this has to be here. This has no choice but to be here, right? It has to be here. It's on the fold. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm just growing increasingly frustrated with Florida's medical system. Feeling my sister. There's still no diagnosis. How long has she been in the hospital? Because it's been like a while. There's a purge. Just to crowd them all into a room. Oh my God. I'd have to say though, giving somebody brain damage probably doesn't help them figure anything out. Since June, okay, I thought it had been a while. Yeah, I know how frustrating it is to just like not know what's going on. But hopefully they figure something out, and so there's something that like can be done. Because I truly like can't even imagine what that's like, having a family member in the hospital like that. Okay. I don't know why this isn't working. Yeah, hopefully, oh, that's so terrible. Do they like have an idea? Like, do they, like, are they guessing that there is like a something, like, you know what I mean? Doctor essentially failed her at the one hospital, and that's where her major decline. What? Oh my God. So like literally they just don't have like any idea. That's insane. I mean, devil's advocate, I know medicine in general can be hard because like you basically are solving a puzzle every time a patient comes in, you know? If that like makes sense. Okay, I think maybe this is how I had it. This seems okay. If Grey's Anatomy and my work in the medical field has shown me they can run many tests to try to identify issues, something very minute causing big problems. Yeah, because like, and sometimes if they don't have like all the information, like the whole picture, sometimes they're not able to accurately diagnose something. And not saying your sister specifically, this is just generally an example, is like if somebody is like using drugs, for example, and maybe they like don't own up to it, obviously, because like doing drugs is illegal, that it's like maybe they can't make a proper diagnosis because it's like whatever chemicals and like drugs they have in their system that's like causing the issue, but like nobody's checked for it because like nobody has like thought about it, you know what I mean? And I'm not a doctor, so like I don't know how like real that is, but I feel like that's real. Okay, I think this is the least wasteful way to do this? Question mark. My mom is like sent her to University of Miami or Shannon, Gainesville. The doctors training, the students would love it. Oh my God. I feel like that freaks me out, and I know like they've got to learn somehow, but oh my fucking God, what is wrong with you? Good morning. I'm sweating. What the fuck? I'm shutting this door. I'm freaked out now. Holy shit. That'll fucking wake you up. Jesus. Okay, what's happening? Oh my God, I didn't even put my sewing apron on. Okay. But yeah, I was saying training hospitals freak me the fuck out, dude. I was at a training hospital once, like as a patient, not as a doctor. And that like freaked me out. Cause then I like realized there are like just students like who have no idea. They don't like the doctors really know. I don't know. Demi's right. Here's an example. Someone could have something like bad tap water in their house and they don't know it's causing problems unless someone attempts to remove it from their diet. Right, yeah. It's just like fucking shit you just like never maybe even think of they could be causing like an issue. Try to prove themselves, you know. Oh, that's a good point. I see what you're saying. I need to maybe put like a, okay, Freya, I think I might have to kick them out. I love them. They're literally underneath my feet. Okay, I think we can cut out these things here. Okay. I'm so glad this music got a lot less aggressive. Ooh, this is not so good. Probably should have not done that. Okay. Probably it's fine. Probably need a little stretched out anyway. Okay, don't forget I need seam allowance. I think I might do like an inch of seam allowance because I feel like this is gonna end up being too short. I guess it could be like a 3/4 sleeve. If it ends up being like too short, I can just make it a 3/4. Kick out the puppers, longing makes the heart grow fonder. Oh my God, they're cute and I like them to be like in here with me. Like also at the same time, I'm like, can you not be literally underneath of my feet? Because I'm like moving around a lot and then they're like, cool. They're like, great, walk around us. You'll be fine. They're so cute though. I know they're so cute. But like, it's like fine, like if I'm just sitting playing video games, but then they're like, I'm trying to like walk around like back and forth this tape, like, you know what I mean? And then look at her. She's just here underneath of me. Oh, and then here's another dog. Oh, ran into Freya because she's underneath of me. Okay. Let's cut these out. I need to not forget the seam allowance. I'm gonna cut that out last, I think. I'll get them out of there and give them some love. Well, you guys wanna go see your dad and have him pet you? Because I'm just gonna step on you.
Come on.
She doesn't want to.
Both of you.
Okay, like take your fucking time.
Let's go, come on. Come on.
Please, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. I am in the mood for The Devil Wears Prada. That's the movie I want to watch. And I know it's like spooky season and shit, but I'm in the mood for some Meryl Streep. Don't need any trip hazards with scissors in hand. True. Like, how can you have a general practice, cancer specialist, an infectious disease specialist, oh my God, cardiovascular, and more, and none of them can figure it out. Because it's probably some stupid little thing. It's probably something little and stupid nobody's thinking about. I would be willing to bet money that it's like just literally some small, minute detail that someone's either forgetting or overlooking. Okay. Tell me if I do something that offends you, apologize in advance. Not my intent. Those doctors are limited by their experience. Yeah, that's true. They've never dealt with your sister's issue. They don't know what they don't know. Yeah. They've run almost every dang old test known to man. I think, I know my mom was going to the doctor for this like skin issue that she had, and every doctor, dermatologist she like saw was like, I've never seen anything like this. Like we don't know like how to treat it. So I think that maybe it's like that, because like even if you run a test but you don't really like know what you're looking for, you know what I mean? Like maybe you just wouldn't even know that you found something or that something came up on a test. Whereas someone else who's had experience with like maybe a pretty like uncommon issue or disease or like whatever, might be like, yeah, the answer was just like right here in front of your face the whole time. Boop. Process of elimination. I mean, you would think like that there would just be some like general common sense stuff that you could do. But I think that it is like a little bit crazy that like nobody even has like an idea of like what the issue like could be. You know what I mean? Like that seems a little bizarre in my opinion. I'm also not a medical professional, but yeah. That's just, I guess, you know, just a hard thing. If I had the big bucks, I would tell my mom to send her to Mount Sinai or one of the rich people hospitals. Fucking no kidding, because that's like another thing too, is like maybe it's just not good education experience, that kind of stuff. But hello, Claw, how's it going? Welcome in. How was your morning or day or afternoon, or I don't know what time it is for you, but how's it going? Okay. I think, oh my God. Ooh. I'm not missing a pattern piece. I just had like a weird tiny panic moment where I'm like, am I missing a piece? I don't think so. At least I hope not. I guess we'll just have to make it work if I am. I keep thinking about the fact that I redid the sleeve pattern, or like made a different sleeve for it. And I just keep thinking about the actual sleeve pattern it came with, and the fact that it had two sleeve patterns with it, a liner and like an outside. Oh, Bookish is lurking. Well, thank you for the lurk and the shout out. I always forget to do shout outs, but Bookish never does. I don't even know if she can hear me right now, but I appreciate you, Bookish. Oh my God, and Thingy, and Dead. Hell yeah. I love how she just like stops by, does a couple shout outs, disappears into the forest. Here's an example. I became friends with an older woman when I was a lifeguard. She's a regular swimmer, so we'd see each other often. She came back from a South American trip and started to lose her motor function on one side of her body. What the fuck is that shit? Like, what? Did they figure it out? Because I would assume that maybe an insect, like an insect bite that would carry a disease maybe, or a disease that's like popular or still common in that area. Like I know polio still exists in places, and like I think if you're going to a place like with a lot of polio that you're supposed to get like revaccinated or something. It's awesome drinking my coffee. Been missing your streams. Pumped I could make it. Well, I'm glad you could make it too. I am also, holy shit, I have almost downed this bowl of fucking coffee. But I'm glad you could stop by too. Timing matched up with the end of her trip. Suspicions were she contracted some microorganism messing with her body, and no doctors in America knew how to treat it. Ugh, yeah, because then if it's something that's like not even like known here, like in North America, that it's like, how do you, like, then what, you know? I guess you would hope that those fucking doctors would start doing some research, right? I mean, that's like their actual literal fucking job. Oh my god, I don't know. Is that armhole gonna be fucked up? I don't know, maybe. I just chopped off a piece of the pattern. You made more coffee? Oh, fucking bless you, you fucking saint. Yeah, cause I'm gonna need it. And also, I just like heated up the coffee that I had and now it's cold. It's like a whole thing. Sorry, my queen, but I'm fading. Yeah, go take a nap, dude. Oh my god, treat the pup. Fucking, I just got them out of here, JD. Okay, I'll call them back in for a treat. And then they out of here. Okay, let's do that. That's a pretty good view of the floor. Okay, hold on. Before treat the pups. Okay, I will go grab them. I will be right back. I swear, did you hear me? What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Come here. I feel like you heard me. You heard me say, we'll give them a treat. Okay, sit. Come here. Sit. Okay, stay. Don't move. Stay. No, stay. 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 Okay, lay down. Lay down. Okay, I said lay down. Excuse me, ma'am. If you don't listen, you don't get a treat. No, lay down, I said. Like, hello? Lay down. The fucking audacity. I can't get her to speak when I say speak. I tell her to lay down and she barks. Okay. Stay. 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 We're waiting. No. You know what, Freya? I'm not giving you a fucking treat. I'm gonna give Isaac 2. How about that? I'll give him your treat because you're literally not listening. Okay, Isaac, go. Good boy. Okay, sit. No, you're being bad. Lay down. Freya, I swear to God. Okay, shake. Good boy. Other paw. I said lay down. Knock it off. Good boy, Isaac. I'm gonna kill you, Freya. You little I just want to shake you. You know what I mean? That's what you get. Nothing for being a bad girl. Okay. Go up. Leave. Go away. You don't get a treat. Oh, she is poor baby. No, not poor baby. If they don't listen, that's the rule. They don't get the fucking treat. I am not a meanie. She's a brat. I am not here to raise a bad dog. It's the frenzied tap dance for me. It's like, I'm fine if she like has that like freak out at first and then she listens, but she just like continually doesn't listen. And then she's like trying to get in on like Isaac's treat, and I'm just like not down with that. We don't steal treats from people, so Isaac gets 2 because he was a good boy and he listened. So that is the rule. JD, maybe later. Maybe later. You said treat and my puppas have full attention. Yeah, I feel like they heard me from the other room and went, I'm sorry, did I hear treat? But the Huskers. Okay, well, if somebody wants to like treat them later, not now, because I will not give her a treat because she was too bad too recently. We can try again later. But I fucking rule them with an iron fist in this house. But she was so cute. She's always so cute. She's the cutest fucking dog I've ever seen in my whole fucking life, okay? Like, she looks like a goddamn fucking teddy bear. But that does not give her fucking cause. Or I guess that, well, you know what I mean? Like, that's not an excuse. It's not a reason to act like a fucking crazy person. It just ain't, dog. Because the more I treat her and she doesn't listen and I still give her a treat, that trains her to say, I don't have to listen, and I still get rewarded. So I ain't about that life. Because also, they already like don't listen. So I'm trying to be a better dog mom, okay? And sometimes you have to give them tough love. Okay. Ooh, I'm running low on coffee, but I'm gonna cut these pieces out first, and then I think I'm gonna go grab coffee, or more coffee. Oh my God. I can't believe you just farted on my dogs, Hunky. The audacity. Okay, I said like an inch, right? Of seam allowance. I should probably like mark it. I kind of like don't want to though. Where? Oh, here we go. I love that stupid fart emote. It's like really too much. Okay. But I mean, I like to give them treats. It makes me happy, you know? But it makes me less happy when they don't fucking listen. Why is this not working? Maybe pencil work? I think this fabric is like too swoopy doopy. Listen, you fart on your dogs constantly and may not know it. They're constantly up their owners' butts. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I fart on my dog, you know? I can't let other people just fart on my dog willy-nilly. I have an asshole dachshund that is adorable but torments her Chihuahua sister and tries to steal her treats and destroy her toys. Ugh. Yeah, I agree. They're so cute, but they're also like fucking buttheads, dude. Cause like, why? It's like, when? Like when? Oh, redeemed Japanese Nihongo, and I am a hungover person. Okay. Oh, what can I tell you? Watashi no name wa Demi desu. 今コーヒーを飲みます。ちょっと私は日本語を話します。There you go. You're welcome for those wisdoms I just gave you. Fucking and German. Okay. What did I even tell you? Oh, let me tell you the same thing but in German. Ich heiße Demi und jetzt ich trinke Coffee. I don't know how to pronounce Kaffee. Oh. Ich heiße Demi und ich trinke Kaffee. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. There. I said both in German and in Japanese that my name is Demi and I'm drinking coffee now, and I speak a little bit of each respective language. I really need to start practicing my Japanese more. That's just a fact. Disappearing ink. Let's do... Oh, fun. This is from Japan. Where did I even fucking get this pen? 𝔻𝕒𝕦𝕫𝕚. Okay. I'm getting distracted. Bought cherry vanilla incense, burning it since we were allowed to burn them in the store. Oh, yeah, that like sounds like it smells good. I miss like going into stores and they just have that like huge display of incense and you just smell them all and they just smell so fucking good. You know what I mean? I mean, you know what I mean. Speaking of which, I might light some incense just because, I don't know, I like it, I guess. Okay. I think my brain is having a hard time today. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, no, I can see this. I can see it. For a moment, I thought that it was just kind of blending in with the fabric color and I started to panic. Picture for you and place it in Discord. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Fucking hell yeah. Oh my god, I thought I got a notification, but I did not. Okay, well, I'm waiting. But yeah, I just miss a lot of things. Because you work in a smoke shop, so you probably have all kinds of fun things in there. I honestly miss hookah. That's what I miss. I miss like hookah bars. You know what I mean? Is that even a thing anywhere? I feel like I've been in the middle of fucking nowhere, North Dakota, for so long that I don't even know what the world has anymore. Oh, Ashley Lurkin. You know, when my kiddo just fall asleep, so you had a few. Well, thanks for the lurk. We'll miss you while you're gone. Where should I post those? I don't know. In general chat, I guess. I guess wherever you feel. Twitch, bored, because we're on the Twitch. I'd probably say just general. because it's a general thing, I suppose. I don't know, man. Oh my god, that's what I'm fucking talking about. It's fucking incense displays, dude. I love those little boxes, all the holes in them. Fucking hell yeah. That fucking skeleton arm is like ridiculous. Like what the fuck even, dude? Wait, oh no. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm panicking. As per usual. Ooh, that was a close one. That's almost too close to the tire upper piece there. Skeleton arm is an incense holder. I mean, but like, what even, dude? That feels random. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm always like, I feel like smoke related items are just always feel random to me. You know? I'm like, whose idea? And like, what? Like, what? You know what I mean? I might as well post the other side because it has more small goods. What the fuck? I feel like working in a smoke shop would be cool, but also I feel like you get a lot of fucking crazy people too. Ray, I feel like you get a lot of weirdos. Oh my god, our street is like so busy today. Like, what is going on? I feel like there's something happening. Okay. And then I just have to attempt to follow that line there. I'm like low-key a little nervous. Okay. There. Whoa, look at all those incense burners. You have all kinds of fucking stuff. Wow. So, oh, there's like a little cauldron. So fun. I love those, like, what are they, like sensors or whatever? Is the oil and wax melts. That's fucking cool. I love the like metal, like sensor incense burner, like whatever's. I have some like cone incense and I have like a little metal sensor burner thing, but I don't know if my incense is like old and shitty or is just like bad quality or what. But the tip of the cone burns, but like not anything else. Also dream catchers, that's so fun. I just miss going to stores that have like interesting things in them. Like Target doesn't, oh, I mean Target has like candles, but I go to TJ Maxx for candles and get them cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go somewhere that has something interesting to look at. Not fucking wooden signs that say, "Bless this home." Okay. Ooh, all the little, like, linty tiny threads are like getting stuck inside of my cutting mat. It's kind of wild. Ooh, that sounds so nice. The like, it has been a long fucking time since I have smelled any like of the wild live, laugh, love. Yeah, I'm not, I just am like looking for something a little more interesting. It's been a long time since I've smelled any of like the wild berry like incense. All of the incense I purchased off of the internet, and none of it's the wild berry brand. It's all like, I don't even know, some generic brand. Some of them came in subscription boxes without any like packaging, so I don't actually know what incense they are. I just ordered the wild berry. I thought so. I recognized them. I recognize them. I remember when I was a little kid, there was this one head shop at the coast I always wanted to go into, and they had, pretty sure they had the wild berry incense. I know like whenever we'd go to the coast, or I'd go to like a different town or whatever on the coast with like friends and stuff, it would be like, we have to go to the head shop, dude. Smell their incense. Demi, if you're ever interested, I can send you some. Y'all, my Cash App, make a little package for you. Oh my god. Fuck, we need to get like a P.O. box. I need a P.O. box. Trying to fucking exchange goods with people in the world. Because, okay, my question is like, what size P.O. box, right? Like, what size of a P.O. box do I have? Do I get like a small one? Because do they keep anything big at the post office? You know what I mean? Like if it's too big for the little box? Because that's like the cheapest one, and I feel like, I mean, I sent a streamer coffee when I worked for Starbucks. I fucking love that. I feel like head shops all smell the same too. I think it's the patchouli. If I had to make a guess. I think it's the patchouli. Okay. Wait, what? Love incense. I make candles. I want to learn how to love to make incense. Seems a lot messier and more involved. I actually also looked into making incense. I have some stuff to like make candles. I actually have a candle I need to give a whirl. But yeah, the incense is like a lot more involved for sure. How do I get to the center of my table? I have such little arms. Not to mention, Demi, we sell sage. I think I've got like a lot of sage. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me look here. Yeah, I've got one. Well, they're not all sage, but I have a lot of like herb bundles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 herb bundles and 2 sticks of Palo Santo. So I think they would hold packages if it's too big. You probably get that. We're holding a package for you card in your box, I'm guessing. Okay, I don't really know how P.O. boxes work. I've never used one ever. I have a feeling you'd want some of them tapestries. Okay. I'm actually like not a tapestry person. Dead, on the other hand, is definitely a tapestry person. I don't know what it is, but like just loose hanging fabric on the wall just like doesn't do it for me. Dad really likes tapestries though. He had this one tapestry that I don't know like what it was about it. Like when I think about it in my memory, I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but I just like did not like it. I never wanted it on the wall. Yes, really? All our tapestries are made in India? Ooh, that's cool. I don't know about that, Deb. Fucking covering the walls in tapestries. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, this piece is cut out. Cool. Tapestry man cave. I mean, like downstairs here, not in here because I don't want tapestries in here, but where we like record and stuff, if you wanted to just like hang up tapestries all around there, like could do that if you wanted to. Okay. I feel like this is just like almost a perfect little square. Oh yeah, that's true. I do have that weird little fucking shelf thing. Wasn't he going to cover the walls in a pillow in pillows a week ago? That was only because of sound deadening. But yes. I mean, I guess tapestries are like pretty big. Because I was gonna say you could like put it up in the like kind of inset area, but it's like not very deep. It was a half joke, but it's really not a bad idea. Welcome to Dead Insay's Twitch. 1 week our walls will be pillows, and next week tapestries. Actually, yeah, you could put pillows up on the wall if you cover them with tapestries. Tapestries? Tapestries. Tapestries? Tapestries. I'm getting stuck in a loop. Okay, I need to cut this piece out. Okay. And then, because holy shit, that coffee is cold, I'm gonna go upstairs and get some more. This isn't really going with the grain line either, but it's fine. I don't like to follow the rules. I like to fucking wing it. So you really could get this, and then they'd hold whatever. Wait, what? Oh, check the USPS website. LOL. So if the package is too big for the box, they hold it and give you a notice. Okay. Because I think like the small boxes are like pretty inexpensive. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I wouldn't be using the P.O. box so frequently that I could justify like getting a big box, you know what I mean? I think I would use it like a few times. And then, you know. I only put one pattern weight on that. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. My brain is, my brain's shutting down. 𝔻𝕗𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕚 coffee. Dude, I need coffee to survive. And that's a fact. It's not even an exaggeration. Oops, I am cutting off the pattern. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Some of the, I'm just like too little. I'm too short of arms or something. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Again, if you move to Florida, I can have my uncle charter y'all on a marlin fishing boat. Doubt y'all would fish for marlin. Just go out to sea and have a great time. Okay. Okay, sir, listen. If I go to Florida, I expect to be on a boat all the time. Dad and I were actually talking about, like, if we, like, moved to Florida, like, working on, like, ships and stuff to get, like, just boating experience in general, I think would be fucking dope. So, I got connects. Okay, well, if you can hook me up with a job on a boat, I ain't even gonna be mad. And I'm not even, like, just looking for a free time. Like, I'm looking for a full-ass job. On a boat. And then I just, like, think about in Florida, my bones will be warm, you know what I mean? Like, I just want warm bones. Okay. Let's clean up my mess here before I get too far. Okay, so there's like a decent amount of fabric left over. And it's not like too wild of a shape. Yeah, that's like almost a whole ass yard. I think that is like a whole yard. Oh my god, I have a whole yard of fabric left. Why did I get so much? Sometimes I genuinely don't understand my logic. Sometimes I buy fabric and it's not enough and I'm like, why did I think that that would work? And then sometimes I buy fabric and I'm like, what was I gonna do with all this fabric? Warm bones. Well, to be honest, jobs on a boat I got connects to are difficult. Only connect I got for a boat, the Port Fort Lauderdale, are cargo haulers. Ugh, phone call. Well, good luck with your phone call. Like full on like ocean imports and exports. Is that what you're telling me right now? Uh-oh. Was that a mistake? I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I just am like trying. It's like I'm not even trying to just like live at the beach, you know, go to a bar at noon. I just don't want to live in a place anymore that's like there's literal public safety announcements like, don't go outside, it's so cold, exposed skin will get frostbite in 10 minutes or less. And I'm like, why do people live here? Why do I live here? Ashley, you're back. Hello, welcome back. Okay, I think I fucked myself by moving that around. I should have not done that, but what can you do? How was getting the kiddos to sleep, Ashley? Did they go down okay? Okay, this feels whack. Okay. I'm not fully understanding why I cannot get this lined back up. Okay, that's... Okay, why is the, like, top of this thing, like, not lined up? We're just gonna do this and I think be done with it. Wait, does anyone even follow those warnings? Like, just put on a thick coat. I do. I mean, like, I still, like, oh my god, my camera is, like, fucking so overexposed. Okay. Like, I'm not outside. Okay, but are you, like, outside for more than 10 minutes, though? Is my question to you. Like, do you go outside and you're like, yes, I will be spending time outside? Because I certainly am not. For hurricanes? Oh no, I mean for the for the warnings here up north when it's like so cold, don't go outside, you'll get frostbite warnings. Cause it's like you'll get frostbite in 10 minutes or less, for exposed skin. But it's like, okay, yeah, like I'm still like going to work and I'm still like going outside and like running errands and stuff, but I'm not like outside for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm outside for like 30 seconds. Because the warning isn't for you to stay inside your house. It's just that like, don't fucking linger. And I'm not like super worried about hurricanes, because they had hurricanes in Japan, and I don't know, I lived. Oh, Michigan, we bundle the hell up, shoot a gun, and go yee yee. Yeah, got stuff outside that has to be done. Even if it's cold, we have animals to take care of them. Driveways, a shovel. Ugh, dude. I don't know. This just is not the life for me. The life of snow and ice isn't for me. I wasn't built for this weather. I mean, I guess like if you have like animals and stuff, yeah, like it makes sense to be spending like minutes outside. Like I get that, but I feel like as a normal human being who doesn't have animals outside to feed, like why are you going outside? Like what do you got to do out there? What do you got to do? Or like if your job, like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't have to be, like why would you be? Is my question. I genuinely would be more concerned about tropical storms and heat exhaustion. Wait, what? Mommy. What? Is that like, why does it say that? What is happening? Philanthrope and, what, is that what it says? Yeah, philanthrope and mommy. Okay. That's fucking weird. I mean, tropical storms, like, can be bad, but, like, I mean, granted, I lived, like, in a cement apartment building in Japan, but, like, we had tropical storms, like, all summer. And maybe at where we lived, it wasn't so bad, but... Oh, hell yeah. Thanks for the hot dog. But, like, I don't know. Like, I was fine. And I've never lived anywhere that got hot enough that, like, heat exhaustion, I feel like, was a thing. Well, maybe Texas. I never got heat exhaustion in Texas. We also had, like, tropical storms in Texas, too. Not really so inland where we were, but... I don't know. I just really liked being warm, I think. Been derailing Demi's train of thought all day. Yeah, my brain can't, just like can't hang today, I guess. I mean, technically heat exhaustion is so rare in Florida. Right. I mean, like, just drink water, though. Like, don't just be outside all day dehydrating yourself, like, in direct sunlight, you know? Just, like, drink water. Maybe hang out in the shade for a minute. Have a good day. Gotta hop off for a work meeting. Ugh. Well, I hope your work meeting goes well, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. I think I'm gonna quickly go get some coffee. Florida is, let me go step outside. My air-conditioned house steps outside, boom, instant sweat. I mean, yeah, because it's, like, humid there, too. It's hot and it's humid. That's what it was like in Japan. It was, like, hot and humid. I remember it was 80% humidity one day, and I walked outside and was like, wow, it feels really dry today. Okay, I'm gonna just, like, be right back. Okay, I filled up my coffee too full and it's like, I was trying to like drink it all the way here to drink it down a little bit, but it's like fucking hot. However, there is one thing I don't miss in Florida, snowbirds. Mostly the Canadians that go down to South Florida. They cannot drive worth a hell. That's factual, sir, I know. Baby oiled up in Speedos. Yeah, baby oil probably for tanning, I would guess. They're on vacation, generally rude for 22 years. Yeah, the Canadians that like, when the border was open would like come like down here and like fucking, I don't know, I did not like them. They were always rude and don't understand why we didn't accept Canadian money. And I'm like, I don't know, because this is the United States and we don't have that money here. Oh my gosh, this is like so freaking bright. I might have to close my blinds a little bit. Thank you for the counter there, Ashley. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and try to get some of this coffee into my body without spilling it all over my project. I was about 6.5 feet away from the road on a sidewalk, had to jump onto a fence and onto it because, what? Fook out of the road. Yeah, fucking Canadians, dude. It's like so weird because it's like, I know the whole world has like this idea of Canadians being like, oh, sorry. You know, and that they're so like polite and nice. And I'm like, all of the actual interactions I've had with Canadians have not been good. They've all been so rude. Like, we had a customer who drove all the way down from Canada, like several hours, whatever, and had bought this product and then had come back like fucking like years later to return it. And I told her like we wouldn't accept the return. Is like a specific region of Canada where they're polite? Yeah, dude, it's not the one directly north of us. And this lady years later comes back to return this product. I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't accept it. And she lost her fucking shit. And she was like, I had to drive 5 hours fucking uphill in the snow both ways to fucking return this shit. And I'm like, okay, lady, I literally couldn't care less. I'm like, it's not my fault that you are an international customer that decided to, I don't know, never come back for like 6 years and then try to return this. Like, that doesn't really sound like a me problem. Wow, JD. I mean, JD is nice to us. I mean, you know what I mean? Is he just like really rude to other people? Who knows? tell you what, it's certainly not Ontario or Quebec. He straight up lives in fucking Quebec, dude. I live in Canada for a bit, and they take American money up there for small purchases. Okay, but these these people would like be hundreds of American dollars, and they'd be like, you don't take Canadian money, and I'm like, no, you know what I mean? And it's like, I understand that like in Canada, sure, maybe they take American money for like certain purchases, but I wouldn't expect them to. I would absolutely not show up to a business and expect them to take USD. I wouldn't have even guessed that, because I just feel like your country, your language, your money. Like, that's the rule. Like, that's just the rule. Like, I've never gone anywhere and thought, will they take my money? So I just think that's fucking whack. JD's nice to us, but I could see him driving down the side, walking like, fuck out of the road. Or like driving down the sidewalk being like, omelette du fromage. Okay, let's sew some stuff here. There are instructions, but like, I'm not gonna follow those. Okay. I think, I mean, I haven't traveled to a lot of places. Like, I haven't been to Canada. I know that when I went on my cruise 100 years ago, the like really touristy areas of Mexico accepted USD, which I was like sad about, because we go to the ATM and just get fucking American money, and then we just pay people in Mexico American money, and I was like, so I don't get any pesos, or like, what's up? And then also I never got any stamps in my passport book, and I was not happy. I was like, why the fuck did I get this passport book? I don't even get any stamps. Where are my pins? Oh, there they are. You forget you have pop cans on the floor and you don't have shoes on behind the counter. You slam your pinky toe. Oh my god, that's... I hope your toe is okay. That's fucking crazy. I feel like I can feel it. Rip toe. Rip your pinky toe. Bing bong. I think I want to sew this like this. Fun fact, there is a right and a wrong way to put your pins in. Okay. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley, I feel like you're here solely just to make sure the counter doesn't get missed. Should I iron this down? I'm not gonna do it. Should I do it? I don't really want to. Even though this, like, I cut it kind of wonky, I feel like it'll be okay. I mean, it's not going to be probably hanging loose like it's meant. Well, I don't know. I might have it just like tied in a knot, because the intention is to have it tied in a bow, these little guys here, but I just don't know if that's for me. No, I'm here because I love watching you stream. Oh, Ashley. But also, you're so good with the counter. I guess because it's Mountain Dew, thrashed apple. I really gave it a thrashing. I think it gave you a thrashing, Fangy. I think that's more of what happened. Okay, bink. And a bonk. Boop. Whew, that's hard work. Pinning all of these together. Oh, also, I thought I was being so smart today. Have my tablet like plugged into the charger. I like redid my like password stuff on there for Twitch, and I had it pulled up so I could read the chat and kind of monitor the stream while I'm literally facing in another direction. And then it just turned off on me. It timed out. Made me sad. You make it so fucking easy. Okay, I also think I say fuck a lot more when I'm tired. I think it's just like a really good buffer word for me, you know? I think that's like the situation. Time to test Dud's brain by typing one word. I guarantee he will hear this word I type. Yeah, everyone could hear that word. Boy. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. I think I could probably move this where you guys could see it, firstly. And then maybe it doesn't really matter that much if it's like off, right? I don't think so. Because this is just a little tie. And it's not even a real tie. Because this top is actually going to be like, the actual like closure is elastic. Spoiler alert. I was not happy they didn't stamp my passport when I went to Europe for the first time. Took the train to 10 countries, only got one stamp. Dude, what? Why'd they no stamp? Because I can tell you, I truly do not understand why I didn't get one fucking stamp in my passport when I went on the cruise. Because I'm like, don't you want to do that? Because we went through like immigration and customs and everything, and like they looked at my passport and I was like, do I get a stamp in there? And they just looked at me dead in the eye and they go, no. And I was like, sir, this is the first time I've left the country. Do not be rude. I'm like, I'm fucking excited. He was not amused. I think I feel like I've just sat still for so long. Like I just need to go somewhere. I need to do something. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm losing my mind. And it's like hard being up north so far because it's just hard to get anywhere, I feel like. Like it takes a long time or it's expensive. And then I'm sad that the border is closed, kind of. Well, I'm kind of sad, but it's like kind of closed. Because I do want to go to Canada and see Canada. I've never been there. I live so close to it, never even been there. I truly need an adventure. I think I want to go somewhere like warm though. But then like the other day, Bookish was talking about her like bucket list of places to see in the States. And I'm like, you know, that's like a good point. Like there are still so many places in the States I have not seen. Like the Grand Canyon. I've never seen the Grand Canyon. I feel like that would be incredible. Or like, well, is Niagara Falls technically in the States or is it technically in Canada? Because it's like on the border, right? Well, either way, I think it's close enough to count. I want to see Niagara Falls, Mount Rushmore. It's not really like a natural wonder, but I want to go to New Orleans. There's falls on both sides. Okay. Same thing happened when I was in Europe. They looked at my passport and they gave it back to me. Okay, so here's my question about passports. I thought the point of the stamp was to prove that you entered the country, right? And then proof that you've left the country. So you get like an entry stamp and an like exit stamp. Like I thought that was like the point, was so that there was like a way to track the countries that you've been in. But also it's like a fun little souvenir for me. Because I'm like, how do I get to be like, hi, I went to this country, look at my cool fucking stamp, you know what I mean? I don't know, there's like lots of places in the States that I've never been to that would be amazing to see. Like I've not been to like Yosemite or Yellowstone, you know, like never been there. I drove past Yellowstone? Which one has Old Faithful? Okay. Let's see here. I don't really know what the right and the wrong side of this fabric is, so I don't think anyone else will notice either. Canadian Niagara is much better. Why? Why is it better? Like, just out of curiosity. Okay, so I need, wait, what the fuck? Okay. So let's sew our shoulder seams together. Yeah, there's like just, I don't know, like a lot of places. Like I want to go to Salem, Massachusetts, and I want to see the Capitol, you know? Just so many things. God, America, like the States is huge. Like it's a big fucking country. I know I'm dead broke and about to have a weakness episode where food helps. Gonna have to fight through it until 4 p.m. What the heck, dude? What is going on? Are you okay? Oh, you know what? There is definitely a right... Wait, no. I don't know. This side looks more flat, but whatever. Are you... I don't understand what you're saying, Fangy. But what's wrong with the food? Thank you, Ashley. More to see, the falls are bigger and there's less erosion. Okay. Good to know. Because I do one day want to visit. There's just so many things to see in the world, you know? Just so many fucking things. I want to go to the Space Needle. I've never been there. I don't think I've really ever been to Seattle. Which I mean, like, I've been in Seattle, but I've never, like, visited. Like, I've flown in. Which I feel like kind of counts, I suppose. Well, I get a lot of weakness, fully diabetic, but borderline. Oh no. Like mini episodes, born with low blood sugar. Oh my god. So like you have to eat though, right? That's like the deal, or no? Or the opposite? I'm gonna close my blinds a little bit. It's quite bright in my eyeballs. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, I can power through it. Is that like good for you though to power through it? I don't really know about anything. Okay. So I guess, hopefully if not, I get extremely groggy and lethargic. I feel like that's not like good for you though. Okay. So I guess to kind of illustrate what we're doing, I know we have the picture like right here of what it's supposed to look like. I'm gonna sew the shoulder seams down, and then I'm gonna sew up our little like ties, and then I'm going to put the sleeve in, like sew this part here, and then I'm gonna sew up the side seam and then the seam of the sleeve. That seems real. Okay. I don't need the back piece. That says pinch pleat to fit into blouse ends. Okay. Lived in Redmond near Seattle. Oh, weird. I used to live in Redmond, Oregon. And my mom actually used to live in Redmond near Seattle, which is fucking weird. Near Seattle, it is not all that. I mean, here's the deal. I want to go everywhere. Like, literally, there is not a place that I don't want to go, I think. Because even if it's not all that, it's like, I've been there, you know what I mean? It isn't one, but I forgot my wallet had like, to have like 69 cents up until Sunday. Oh my God. Well, hopefully those fucking, they give you those overtime hours and that'll be some extra cash for you. My energy drink, my Google wallet. Oh no. Well, I'm wishing you money. This feels like weird. Okay, and then also in the pattern, instead of like hemming normally, they call for sewing a ribbon down on the edge and then like flipping it around. So it has like a structured, the ribbon acts like a facing, which is like kind of whack, but I guess we'll see how that turns out, which I'm kind of like all for, because I feel like that should be a pretty way to finish the edges, like an easy, pretty way to finish the edges, I think. Won't find out till next Wednesday. Ugh, that's stupid. I was young, I worked for a corporation. I moved every 2 years. I will say this till my dying day. Even though the moving process is stressful, I like to move. I think I might check and see what the seam allowances are supposed to be quickly. Move all of my sewing things over here. Also, oh my God, excuse me. Huh. Yeah, because our paydays are actually, and I quote this bullshit, Sundays. What? That's weird. Paydays are like almost never Sundays for like any company ever. Like, that's weird. It's usually on like Friday. What kind of job pays you on Sunday with no direct deposit? I couldn't even begin to tell you. That's weird. Cause like then when are they, I guess they do payroll on Wednesday, which is like fucking weird as shit. That's weird. So then I'll need to like mark this because I sure did not. I do need to I need to switch the thread in my machine. So that's gonna be a little bit of a, what, you get your checks on Wednesdays, they do payroll on Sunday? That's weird. Wait, what? That's like, I don't understand what that even is. That's bizarre. Oops, that's the wrong screen. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, this like closed out, so I'm gonna try to open her back up, like hello, because I've got this thread here. Okay, will it let me look at my chat is the question that I currently have. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I've got this thread. I need to put it in my machine. Yeah, so let's do that. I also need to fill a bobbin. So that's a thing. Wait, Thingy has contributed 490 points. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for donating so graciously your points to the Scene Queen stream. Okay. Boop, take this guy out of here. Okay. And bink. Okay, this is gonna be like not particularly fun, I think, for a moment here. I mean, unless you're interested in the filling of the bobbin. Ooh, I'm digging the angle a lot better. You can see your chaotic sewing skills now. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, because after you said that, you're like, oh, I kind of wish I could have like seen you sewing. I was like, I guess that makes sense. I wish I just like, yeah, I need to get like something, I don't know, maybe it's fine. Also, I feel like my sewing is not that chaotic. I feel like it's normal. Also, I bought like fancy people thread. So that's like exciting. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. It was like I don't want to say like expensive, but for thread it seemed a little bit more expensive than normal. Also the like spool it's on is like really nice. Has a little thread wrapper around her. So pretty excited about that. Oh fuck, I tightened this too hard. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now we're in business. I guess I should turn her on. Bink. Okay. And this is just the bobbin, so this is like nothing. Filling a bobbin on my machine is a colossal pain in the rear. Oh my god, testing my family who wants to get me for lunch. I'll pay you back Sunday. Dude, I'm rooting for you, Fangy. Yeah, the bobbin like isn't so bad on this machine. It's just like the, oh my god, I cannot think of the name of the, what is it called? Oh my god, it's escaping me. I know the name of it for the needle wheel. Is that, it's not needle wheel. No, I don't know. There's like a little circle in there, another wheel inside that wheel that you loosen up to like detach it from the needle, which is really nice because my other machine wasn't like that. You just like snapped over the little like bobbin threader thing and then it just went for it, but it also like ran the machine. But this is nice because now the needle isn't running, it's just the bobbin. Oh, I appreciate it, but I expect nothing. I mean, maybe. I'm rooting for you here. Oh, I guess I could maybe try to show you. It's just going there. And that's it. That's threading the bobbin. Okay. I'm like, do I need a whole bobbin? Probably not, but I think I'm just gonna fill up a whole one anyway. Okay. I feel like that's probably fine. Okay. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh, what's happening to you? Something happen? Are you getting, did somebody buy you lunch? Study says tequila may help keep your bones strong. The fuck is that even about? Like, what does that even mean? I'm here for a good time, not a long time. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, just like give people an excuse to drink tequila. Personally, I used to really not like tequila, but I think I was just having bad tequila. 'Cause I feel like I could get on board with that. Tequila for strong bones. Say I'm doing it for science. My old machine kind of did it. My current machine, you have to thread strange. Ooh. I watched the entire time. That sounds like not a good time. Just remember the country song. You are gonna have to jog my memory, sir. I don't know what country song you're speaking of. Although in these days you have to be correct about it. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? The country song? I don't know. I'm gonna tell you right now. If it's not Shania Twain, I don't know what the song you're talking about is. Makes the clothes fall off instead of her. Hey, tequila might make everybody's clothes fall off. Maybe not just female people. Boop. Okay. We are threaded people. What am I doing? Okay. Put my little bobbins away. Okay. Now is the time for sewing. Oh shit. I like put my camera on top of my fabric. I don't know. I'm like a little bit nervous. Like, is my tension good? Maybe I should have practiced on some scrap fabric, which I might actually do because I'm scared I'm gonna like fuck this up. So give me like 2 seconds. Okay. I just also think about that song, Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off, and I'm like, I don't think it's the tequila. You know what I mean? I feel like it's probably just drinking too much, because if I've learned anything about tequila, people who are drinking it are drinking way too much. And they're just like always shit-faced. Okay. Let's see here. Oh my god, I'm a fool. I'm not even using the right stitch. Okay. Let's redo that. Okay. Let's just pretend like that didn't happen. I don't know how I didn't even notice the needle was like all the way to the left. Okay. Everything seems good, like the tension and the stitch length and everything. Looks nice. Okay, we are good to go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, I don't know why I'm like so nervous about this. Maybe because I've been putting this top off for 100 years. I just feel like something is gonna get messed up. Oh, I was gonna look at an omen where this is true, vodka doesn't have the same effect. Really? That just seems like weird to me. Cause like, what was it? What was I watching that was like talking about different alcohols and how it actually, different alcohols do not get processed differently in the body. So people who are like, oh, this type of alcohol opposed to this type of alcohol does something different, like it doesn't actually do anything different to you. Because all alcohol gets processed exactly the same in your body. Oh, what the fuck is this called? Okay, I'm trying to look up what the seam allowance is. I think it's probably 3/8, but I just want to double check, I think. But I think a lot of the like alcohol situation is, I feel like people just like get it in their head. Seam allowance is 1/2 inch. What? Why is it so thick? Yeah, so 1/2 inch unless otherwise stated. I just don't know if I would have done 1/2 inch. Feels like a lot. Okay, gonna follow the pattern though, you know what I mean? Okay, scooting her over. But, or was it about hangovers? I don't know, but I think they were just in general talking about how different alcohol doesn't actually give you different hangover. It doesn't affect you any differently because our body doesn't see a difference in the alcohol, but it's actually the different alcohols, like what changes it is like how it's being consumed. Like people who say like, oh, tequila gets me shit-faced. It's because the environment that you're in, you're probably like drinking, it's the way that you're drinking it or something like that. Oh, my pins, that's what I'm grabbing. All alcohol is not the same. Tequila gives me a rotten hangover. I mean, I don't know. It was just the one thing that I was watching where they were just like talking about like the science and how your body like processes the alcohol and the difference in hangover and how you like feel when you like drink it is typically like how you're drinking it. So tequila is usually like, no, like unless you're taking like shots of tequila, like maybe you have too many shots of tequila because you're like in a party atmosphere, like that's typically where it's associated, or you're drinking margaritas, which are super sugary, usually. So usually like that's, at least was their point, is that it's different in that way because you're consuming the alcohol differently. And like the other things that come with it also. And also how much water you've had will dictate the hangover that you have the next day. Yeah, because sugar causes hangovers. Yeah, so if you have like a lot of sugar, you're gonna have a bad hangover. That's why there's like such a, like a wine hangover. Like when you're wine drunk, it's because there's a lot of sugar in wine. So yeah, I can drink a bottle of a rum and not get wrecked the same way. I mean, like I said, I think it's like different because it's like the speed at which you're drinking it, what you're drinking it with, and those kinds of things, like how much water you've had, what you've had to eat. Like there's a lot of factors that actually goes into. Yeah, so also different alcohols have different amounts of sugar. Also, humans are tricky, true. So maybe your body just processes the sugar in a different way. You know what I mean? Because like, I guess tequila, like yeah, all alcohol just has different sugar. That's the best way to say it. But yeah. But after learning that little nugget, anytime I have like actually stayed hydrated and like eaten like a good amount, like I notice like my hangover isn't bad the next day when I'm just like being healthier, I guess like as healthy as you can be about it. Eat carbs. Ugh, you don't have to tell me twice. I could go for some carbs right now even. I'm fucking hungry. Yeah, there's definitely like things you can do to prep for drinking that like will lessen the like hangover effects. I only drink beer now because I don't want to get drunk. Yeah, I had bourbon and Cokes last night, and I think it was also partially probably the fact that I was having a drink mixed with sugar syrup, Coke, and watching Dead Stream last night. It was really fun, and I was just like really enjoying myself and wasn't really like paying attention to how many drinks I was having. I think I had like just one too many. Like definitely was hungover this morning, I'll tell you what. So, did not feel great. And now I'm just like starving. I kind of want like a cheeseburger, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just always want like greasy carbs or something whenever I'm hungover, like salty, greasy carbs. Ooh, yeah, this is doing like a weird thing. It was kind of stretching, well, probably because it's cut on the fucking bias. I am so sick of things cut on the bias. They're hard to sew and I don't fucking like it. Okay. Bees sugar. Yeah, I could go for a fucking bees sugar right now. Tell you what. I kind of am just like wanting to see what this looks like really quick. Yeah, I am currently hungry, if you couldn't tell. You know what I should have done, but I didn't do? Ooh, that pulled some threads out, probably because it's on the fucking bias. I like really am so, I am just sick of things being cut on the bias. It's supposed to make things like look pretty. It gives things stretch. Like when I was in fucking fashion school, it was like, ooh, the bias, fucking on the bias. You know what? That's fucking bullshit. It's fucking hard to sew and to work with because it is stretchy. And I'm like, sir or madam, why did you tell me to do this? Because cutting on the bias is, so you have like your, like the warp and the weft fabric, so it makes like that pattern. Cutting on the bias is like, instead of cutting something like this, you cut it like diagonally across, like through the warp and the weft, and it actually gives the fabric like some stretch. but it's like hard to sew and it's just kind of a fucking pain in my ass. And when I made that circle skirt, I think that's why my waistband got like so fucked up, because it was cut on the bias because I didn't have enough fabric. And so then my fabric was like stretching and pulling in all these like weird fucking ways, and it did not turn out very good, and that made me sad. Okay, so here's our first little loopy doopy tie thing here. Cool, she's done. Boop. And then let's do this one. I am really excited to use the ribbon as a facing. I'm excited to see like how that turns out, A, with this fabric, B, just like in general. I feel like it'll look really nice. If I like it enough, I might start facing projects with ribbon, because I think that's so cool. Okay. Wait, that's not a 1/2 inch. That is like way more than a 1/2 inch. There we go, pink. Also, I was watching this TikTok that was like, where she like addressed people addressing her, like sewing over her pins. And she's like, oh, I was wearing glasses, like safety, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, are you not supposed to sew over your pins? Which sounds like common sense, right? I think I need to change my needle. However, when I was in school, they were like, oh, just pin your pins this way and then you can sew over them, because if your needle hits them, so if you put the pins like this and you're like boop, 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 sewing, that if your needle okay, so hold on here. Now there's sound. Okay, fun fact. I did not charge, I guess, the like little lav mic receiver thing, but and the other one is charged, but it's not connecting. I need help, so I might have to maybe say no lav mic for right now, because I don't really know how to fix that or why it's not connecting, because I wonder. See if I can get it to connect here. Unplug it and plug it back in. Well, It's the other one that's like charged. I don't really know why it's not like connecting to the receiver. It just keeps blinking. So like I don't really know why. Okay, I'm trying to turn them off and back on again. I really should have charged that, but I forgot. Okay. So turning this back on. Say turn everything off and then back on. Okay, so that's turned on. Now I'm going to turn this on. I don't know. It's still not linking up. I don't know what happened or why that's doing that. I should be able to hold this. I don't know. It's not linking up. I don't know what to do. I think I might just have to, because I don't know. I genuinely do not know how to troubleshoot this. And I feel like I could probably spend an hour troubleshooting this. So I might just have to use they're hard linked, like programmed with each other. So I literally don't know. That's what I'm saying is like, I don't know how to troubleshoot this because they should be linked together like that. So I feel like that's an after the stream problem is what I'm saying. Like I have a backup mic, like I have the mic obviously I'm talking into, but what I'm saying is that might have to be a later troubleshoot because it's like, what do I do? Just spend an hour on the internet trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll look it up really quick and see if I can figure it out, but I feel like if it's not like a quick fix, then I'm just gonna have to look it up later because I don't really know what the deal is. What?
Do you want help?
Okay, do you know how to fix it?
What's going on?
They won't link up.
It won't link to that one.
No.
And you have one that's charged?
The one that's charged, it won't link up.
Wait, what?
The one that's charged won't link. The one... Okay, you're gonna have to hold on. I'm like literally in the middle of doing this.
Yeah, I see.
So... Okay. So...
That's the charged one?
This is the charged one. And here's the receiver. Hi, Freya. Are you excited that you can be in here now?
Welcome back in, Freya.
Welcome back, guys. Okay, so I guess just technical difficulties, as always, Freya. Okay, well, I guess thank you for helping me fix it. Is it not linking up?
Obviously it's not. It's why
Okay.
I'm troubleshooting it for you.
Oh, well, I just thought maybe...
Attitude, dude.
I'm not having an attitude. My question, I just thought maybe that you did it and it worked. I thought both the lights were on. Okay, so guess we'll just pause on that for a second. Okay.
And you have the other one right here.
It's not charged though.
I know.
Okay. Okay, well, I forgot. I guess I will continue sewing over there. I don't know how I guess like the audio probably just like isn't great in general because I'm using this mic that is definitely usually at my desk. Okay, well, I'm just gonna continue sewing that up. I'll probably just like do it fast.
Did you take the charger from me?
Oh fuck, here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So let's just continue on. Boop. Okay. So I'm gonna try to point the microphone in this direction. It's probably not gonna sound great, so I'm gonna try to sew really quickly, then we can move back to the table and you can hear me. Okay. So bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Oh gosh. Sometimes I like really wish that I was a little more technologically like I don't know, inclined, I guess. I feel like I could probably figure it out, but I don't know. It just stresses me out that it's like I'm on stream and it's like who even knows how long it's gonna take me. I guess a good thing I have a backup mic. Oh, it keeps like catching, like on my needle keeps catching on the fabric. I think it might need to be, oh, it looks like the tip is maybe bent. I might just have to change my needle. Probably from, honestly, going over all of those needles, probably bent the tip of it. Lurk, peace nerds, well hello and goodbye, hunky, I guess. Thank you for the lurk. I hope you have a good day. Maybe we'll see you later. I just love how he just comes in and like calls everybody nerds and then leaves. Boop. Hunky, what the fuck? Yeah. I feel like classic though. He's like, oh, they're streaming? Just gotta go call them nerds really quick, make sure they know. Sometimes I'm like, what is Hunky even doing? You know what I mean? Like, why is he always lurking so much? I'm a nerd, so what? Okay, another one down. And then I'm just gonna sew up the shoulder seams really quick, and then we can put in the sleeve, because I think that's gonna be, ooh, excuse me, the next step. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of a nerd, so what? What are you gonna do about it? Like too old for you to hurt my feelings anymore about like that kind of stuff. Love your sweater though, it looks so comfy. It's not bad. It's made out of like acrylic yarn, which like isn't my favorite. It gets like, if I get like too hot in it, it feels a little bit scratchy. Which makes me sad because like I really like it a lot, but I almost feel like I need to put like a lining or something in it so it's not so scratchy. I don't think I can ever get too hot. I mean, I'm usually not like too hot, but it's like, I think because it's acrylic, it's, you know, made out of plastic. So it like, is just like, it's hot, you know what I mean? Like it's not like breathable. And so it just like gets too like heated up, I think. But I feel like typically I could just like be bundled up all the time. Okay. All right, a couple more stitches and then we're done with the shoulder seam. I was actually just now thinking I probably should have checked to see if the shoulder seam was also supposed to be 1/2 inch, but ooh, it's like kind of tearing up this fabric a little bit. I should switch the needle before I sew anything else, I think. Okay. I'm gonna move a few things around. Okay, that seems like kind of can hear me okay. Stretch it out a little bit there. Okay. So next thing I need to do is I forgot to mark my little points here on the sleeve, so I need to do that. Okay. Where I live now, it's shorts and t-shirt, $365. Oh, that sounds magical. Where do you live? Because I'm gonna move there. This fabric is so, like, I don't know. The way it's just like swooshing around is like not great. Okay. And then got those marked. Puerto Rico, oh my god, that's like the dream, dude. I would love to live somewhere like tropical like that. Also, what brought you all the way to Puerto Rico? Just like for funsies, or if you have family there, or what? And then actually I need to switch, put the mark on that side of the fabric. Not really sure what I was thinking, just not marking the other side. Okay, there we go. Okay, I need to check and see what's the front and the back of this thing. Literally what? Okay, the one single mark is the front. Okay, I feel like that's pretty typical. So there's two, so this big swoopy side is the front. Right? Oh my god. This fabric is stretching like a lot. Don't really love it. Where are my marks even? Like, hello? Oh my god, that's the bottom of the sleeve. For goodness sake. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the front. And then we'll just try to pin that baby in there. Easy peasy. Working myself to death in California was negatively affecting my mental health. I mean, that'll do it to you. Boop. How did you pick Puerto Rico? Was it just like a place you had been before and you really liked it, or was it like a situation where it was like, let's try something new we've never done before? I'm always just curious, like, why people like live the places that they live. Like, what made them pick that spot, you know? Alright. Okay, I feel like the sleeve is going in pretty good. Probably helpful. I think this is where the bias is like actually helpful. Because you can kind of like scooch it on in there. Oh, boop. Okay. And then, boop. I'm gonna try to just match up the edges. I know that's not exactly like how this is supposed to work, but I feel like I did not do the marks on the bodice that I was supposed to do to match up the sleeve. That's fine. Never been here before. In hindsight, I should have moved to Costa Rica. What? What's wrong with Puerto Rico? I mean, I guess you could always just move to Costa Rica, right? Or is that hard? How is it like, what's it like moving from the States to another country? I am very curious about that process. Okay. I also do really like that. Hello?
SOL.
Why?
They're like made to not desync. They come from the company like synced together. If they ever lose like synchronization, you're supposed to just be able to do this like quick trick, hit the buttons, and if they don't resync, you have to get new ones.
No way.
Yeah, they're not supposed to desync. So I just have to contact Road. Yeah. Because like they're all synced together.
Yeah.
So I even desynced the one from the one channel, try to resync, just like to try to get them all to communicate, but they're donezo. So only one will connect to the channel. So I have to send them back and get a whole new set. And like nobody knows how they desync.
What the hell?
They're like it maybe might get fixed with the software update if I update them. So I'm gonna try that first.
Okay.
But, like they're essentially all one device.
Right.
So.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's not a fucking pain in the ass.
I love that I open up the door and the dogs immediately come in. Isaac lays right behind you. Freya lays right in front of your sewing machine.
Yeah. They're fucking monsters.
I like how when I, like, on my computer, they, like, lay near the curtain and, like, away from me, but, like, near enough to me.
Yeah, they just want to be, like, underneath of me, and I'm not, like, really sure, like, why I'm giving off that vibe.
I was gonna shut your door, but I guess in case they want to leave.
Yeah, if they want to leave, I guess we'll leave the door open. They probably won't, because they're monsters. Thank you, Ashley, for that. So, I guess just, like, in case anybody's curious, there will be only my desk mic from now on, I guess, or for the foreseeable future. The lav mics, I guess, desynced, and they're not supposed to do that, and nobody knows how to fix it or why it happens, and so you just have to get, like, new ones. So I guess that's cool. So I guess we'll just have to stick it with the old style audio. We had a pretty good run though, you know, a couple of streams with the lav mic. This country's bankrupt, easy to move here as a U.S. citizen. Costa Rica is a lot more paperwork, which is why I came here. Oh, okay. When you moved, did you bring a lot of your stuff with you, or did you just sell a lot of stuff? I guess, like, what does that even mean that the country is bankrupt, I guess, for, like, a regular citizen? Is everything just, like, really expensive, or, like, what's up? I think I'm gonna turn down my music here. There we go. Just so it's not so loud in the microphone. I think that was picking it up a little too much. I don't know. I've always wanted to, like, move to another country, like, on my own, because I know, like, sometimes, like, if a company, like, relocates you, they help out a lot. And I always just wondered what it's like to do it, like, on your own as a regular person, because then companies will, like, pay to, like, move your stuff and all that kind of thing. So, because from what I've heard of, like, other people, like, on YouTube and stuff, they just sell all their shit and then move there, basically, with, like, maybe a suitcase or two, like, full of stuff, and then that's it. Okay. So, sleeves are on. I guess I could probably flip this guy inside out. I probably should flip the other one of these ties, like, flip the other one, like, outright side in, out inside out, whatever, like, flip it back again, because I need to trim the corners. I think it'll just, like, be nicer if I do, you know? Okay. I feel like I really just I got a hankering to get out into the world and, like, explore for sure. Like, I gotta live vicariously through you living in Puerto Rico. Okay. Then I can trim. Oh god, like, why would you want so much of a seam allowance in here? Okay. Just gonna trim the corner so there isn't as much bulk, so it'll lay a little flatter, hopefully. I guess I could trim off the excess, but in case something like rips, it's easier to fix if there's more seam allowance, so I guess we could just keep it for now. And flip this guy right sides out again. Ooh, I should probably use the end of this little paintbrush here to maybe get the ends out a little better. That's gonna work maybe, I don't know. Gave away most of my stuff and had my mom ship me like 10 boxes of things when I got here. I only brought 2 suitcases with me. That's just like fucking the life I want to live. I guess that's probably helpful when you have people living in your country of origin, I suppose. And then they can just like ship it off to you. Like whatever stuff you couldn't like bring on the plane. Okay. That is way, way better. Okay. I don't know why I put the cover back on that if I was just gonna use these little scissors again. Okay. My sewing machine and Blu-ray player broken shipping. No! Oh, that is like the worst. How long have you been in Puerto Rico? Have you been there like quite a few years? Okay. I feel like, yeah, I know like I think we've talked about it before, but like when stuff is just broken in shipping is like truly heartbreaking. Okay. So get these flipped inside out. And then I can sew in the 10 years or so. Oh, wow. Have you thought about moving to Costa Rica, or are you just gonna stick it in Puerto Rico? Okay. Boop. Wow, would you look at that? Okay, so the little strappy ties are done. And let me make sure, just double check, because I accidentally started putting one of the sleeves into the neckline instead of like the armhole. So let's like make sure that I did that. Okay, that's correct. I wonder, just out of curiosity, let's see. Yeah, I feel like the sleeve is also, yeah, that's gonna be like 3/4 sleeve. My calculations were not quite correct, but that's fine. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alright, going back to the sewing machine. Hopefully the noise isn't too much. So let's go sew these little babies down. And then I think next step will be to do the facing, I think. Okay. Moving now would be too much. My health isn't that great anymore. Oh. I mean, I guess hopefully it's like not so bad there though. You know what I mean? Apart from like obviously the country being bankrupt. I feel like Puerto Rico would at least be pretty, right? like nice and warm and tropical. Oh, I need my little pin holder, pin bucket. Oh, sorry, Freya. And of course, she's like literally right behind my chair, so I like run her over. Okay. Oh, she's back there grumbling. I don't think she's very happy that I ran her over. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Hopefully, uh-oh. Sometimes like sewing in pieces like this makes me nervous. Because the piece underneath, I'm like, what if it gets puckery and I don't notice? Like I don't flatten it out before I run it over with my sewing machine. And then I just have to redo it, and I just really do not like to do that. I mean, I suppose nobody does. It's a wonderful country where the government doesn't have any funds necessary to upkeep anymore. Oh, that's so sad. So I guess, like, that makes sense, that it's like things are just, like, in disrepair, which is really sad. Especially, I'm sure, for a place that's, like, so beautiful. Okay, let's swoop. Make sure my shoulder seam is, like, nice and good to go. Okay. Been watching a lot of like sailing videos and people just like going to tropical places, and I'm like, man, I want to go to a tropical place that's warm. Like, honestly, I just like miss the sand that's on a beach near the ocean. Oh my god, and I said I was gonna switch the needle, and then I didn't even. For goodness sake. Okay. I guess try to wrap this up quickly here. I just remember going on my cruise to Honduras and Mexico and Belize, and it was just like so amazing. We have 3 different kinds of sand. What? What do you mean 3 different kinds of sand? Like fine sand, coarse sand, and I don't know, like what? I'm like so curious now. Okay. Sleeve number 1 went in pretty much without a hitch, so I'm pretty excited about that. Now, well, I guess probably sew down the side seams before we do the facing, I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah, I miss the ocean. Like, I just want to go to the ocean. Okay, looking good. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Whew. I felt like that was gonna be dangerous if I sneezed while sewing. Definitely gonna mess something up. Oh my god, that was weird. I thought I don't know why I'm always just like really paranoid about running out of bobbin thread. For a second I thought I was just sewing with nothing. Okay. Okay. Alright, cool. We are past the halfway mark now on this sleeve. I feel like we're getting to my favorite part of a project when it starts turning into the thing. Which is like right around the corner. So waiting to hear what different kinds of sand there are. I know I'm like, I got it, like, what, 3 different kinds of sand? Like what? I'm like, tell me about the sand. I need to hear all about Puerto Rico. Ooh, that's kind of a little bit of a wonky seam, but it's fine. I guess it's probably good that I'm just like sewing a project just for me on stream, because I feel like I'm just like a little bit, also today I'm just like a little bit distracted. But top of the island is in the Atlantic and the bottom is in the Caribbean, so the color and the texture varies greatly. What? That's like kind of cool. Is it like, do you have like black sand there at all? I don't really know where black sand happens or why it happens, but okay. Oh my god, that sound freaked me out. Okay. Okay, now we're done sewing the armhole, the shoulder seam. Cool. And now we can, I think, pin and sew down the side seam in the sleeves. Uh-oh, my phone is caught on my chair. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So, is this right? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sometimes I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have, okay, those are matching up. I am, okay. The other Mood Sewciety patterns I have made, I feel like I've had a lot of trouble with like seams matching up right, and like, I don't know, just generally like the pattern like isn't quite right, but this one so far has been pretty, I don't know, matched up pretty well, which I'm kind of surprised about. because the other ones I've done were like kind of whack. Well, I guess the 𝔻𝕉𝕚𝕚𝕚 dress I did wasn't so crazy, but oh god, and it's like hard to want to work on it. I'm doing like a corset top using like a Mood Sewciety pattern, but it's like so just a prop, like it's not matching up, and it's just like taking a lot of work, and it's like I'm just like not, I don't even want to, like I just feel like it's taking my energy to even just think about wanting to do it. There really isn't much black sand, okay, but the Atlantic has strong waves and the Caribbean is mostly flat. The sand down south is softer and plush. The north coast has more sand. Oh, interesting. That's kind of crazy. I almost would have assumed it'd be the opposite of that. Like I would figure that the harsh waves would cause like would tumble the sand a little more, you know what I mean? And then it would be like softer is kind of what I would have expected. Because I feel like a calm ocean is not going to make the sand very soft, I would think, but that's kind of interesting. I'd love to go see the sand. Where do they have black sand? Is that like up in the north or something? Like in the far north, like Iceland or something? I feel like it's somewhere weird. Not like weird, but somewhere that you don't really typically associate like sandy beaches with, you know? Okay, I guess I should probably do... No. Yeah, well, no, I should do it differently. Okay. Oh, look at, it's doing a thing. It's turning into a top. Look at it. How exciting. And then I'm like, I don't know, we'll see how this the sleeves turn out, but I'm kind of feeling like they're gonna be like a 3/4 sleeve length. That's my estimation there. Uh-oh. I think I sewed that a little too, like, not enough. Alright. And then the sand in the south side of the island doesn't move. Sand in the north gets washed away, so it's more new. Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. That's like crazy. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just would have never like guessed that that is how it would be. But I guess it does kind of make sense. How big is Puerto Rico? I feel like I imagine it to be quite small, but I'm also not really entirely sure. Like, could you traverse it, like, in a day? Because I feel like if you could traverse a whole country in a day, I would say that it's probably small. Ooh, I got a question for you. What's your favorite place in Puerto Rico? Like, if you had to recommend a place for somebody to visit, if they could only go one place, what would it be? Just gotta, you know, get some travel ideas for the future. There's an island on the east side that has some black volcanic sand. Is like 100 by 35 miles. Okay. So you could like traverse the island in a day. Okay. And then, ooh, actually, before I do the side seam, I need to figure out which side seam I want to for it to like tie to. I think I want it to tie to the right side. That's usually where I tie stuff to. Does that make sense? Cause, oh geez, maybe I should look at the instructions. To our drive from east to west. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Because I should probably, I guess I'll just look at the instructions and see what the order is. Because I need to put stuff into the side seams, which obviously means I can't just sew up the side seams at the current moment. So let's see what order I'm supposed to do this in. Because I think I might need to face first. Let's see. Okay, pin and sew. Wait, what? Oh, they used French seams. I did not do that. At the shoulders. And then pin and sew a length of gross grain ribbon to face along the top edge of the neckline of your shirt. Okay. So first they want me to face the neckline first before we get too crazy. So I'll need my ribbon. I don't know, because I need to sew it to the right side, because then I'll flip it. Yeah. I think it's just the neckline too. So it's just gonna be all along this edge. And I guess I could probably just sew along until just off of the roll of the ribbon. Oh, I hope I have enough. I probably have enough. Because then I'm thinking, do I hem the bottom or do I do the same facing technique? Okay. Depends on where to visit, depends on what you like. If you want to party, then Old San Juan is the spot. If you want to lay on the beach, Cabo Rojo. In the south, it is surfing. There's a town called Rincon. Arecibo is where you want to go for mountains and hiking. Ooh, sounds like Puerto Rico has like a lot of stuff there to do. Cause like, I want to do all of those things. Okay, I have to use the little gamer's room. And then we can sew the facing on. I think if I have enough ribbon, I will face the hemline. I think that would just look nice. So I think that's gonna be the plan. Okay, I'm gonna use a little gamer's room and then I will be right back. Okay. So I was reading the instructions just now, and I need to, it says cut a 2.5 piece of ribbon, 2.5 inch piece of ribbon, and gather the edge of the right side of your shirt, like below. And I'm like, what? Because I think what they're saying I'm going to eventually need to do is this piece. I guess I should put this on tabletop, huh? Like this piece right here that goes like across, that needs to be gathered down, and then a piece of ribbon just like sewn to hold it in place, I'm guessing. Well, that doesn't really make sense, but right? Because it just says like below, but it's like hardly even like showing me anything. I do have to say the instructions on these patterns, like I know it's all free, but like I just like don't understand sometimes, because it's just like I don't, like I know how to sew and I understand the terminology, but they really are assuming you know information, I feel like, that I just don't know. Like it's just not clear, I guess. Are the instructions dog water? The instructions are dog water is what they are. And then rather than gather the left side of your shirt into the ribbon binding, gather it into the other tie. Okay, wait, what? Okay, that makes sense. So one of these edges is getting gathered into a piece of ribbon. The other side is being gathered into one of the ties. That makes sense. Okay. Because one is going to go like underneath. But then it wants me to put in buttons. And I'm like, what the fuck? It did not. I don't feel like it called for buttons in the beginning. No, it doesn't even tell you. It says fabrics and materials used. 2 yards of this fabric, 1 yard of that fabric, 4 yards of that fabric, and then the sewing pattern. And I assumed that, because I think I read through the instructions like a time or two, and I'm like, okay, there's like elastic that just like attaches, so you just kind of slip it over and then tie it. But no, they don't even, in the materials and the fabrics used, they don't even mention they actually, wait, what? Okay, they mention the ribbon. They don't mention elastic, which it calls for, and it doesn't mention buttons, which it calls for later in the instructions, which I think is a little rude, but whatever. So I think what I want to do is put in, like, I think I'll definitely like gather it down into the ribbon, and then I think I'll take some, I don't know if I should do, because it's what, like one wants me to do 2.5 inches, because I do have some like thick elastic that is 1 inch. So I wonder if I could do, or if that's going to be like too much to pull. I need Dead's dog water back to lurking. I'm like, what are you? You're like hardly even lurking, I feel like, Hunky, because you're too involved. Like, you might as well just be watching the stream regular like the rest of us. You know? Okay. I don't know, because then I could put that into my elastic into the side seam. And then have like 2 pieces of elastic. Is that gonna be yeah, lurk better, Hunky. You know what I mean? Because then if I have like 2, holy shit, okay. So if I have like 2 things like there that are attached here, I wonder, is that going to be good enough, or is that going to be too much? I don't know. Because I do, okay, I need to try it on, I think. How dare you call me out like that? Well, maybe you should just be better at lurking then. Okay, so let's kind of try this on. Oh, this is gonna be weird with my sweater. Okay, this is gonna be a whole thing. Oh my god, these little rips are like thumb holes. That's fun. Okay. And make sure none of the pins are like falling out. Okay. Uh-oh. No. This just ain't gonna work. Okay, I gotta repin that, I guess. Okay. Probably should repin this side as well. Okay. Oop. Okay. And then I feel like this fits a lot different than I anticipated. That's gonna be like a very wide neck, I feel like. I guess whatever. Okay. So that's gonna be like that. And then I've got to somehow figure out what the those inches are. And then, oh my god. I feel like this is gonna be a disaster. Something tells me this is not gonna give me a good measurement, but guess if it's like a little bit bigger, it's probably better, because then I can always cut it shorter. Okay, I'm gonna cut it quite a bit longer, I think, than I need it. And then we'll see what that's like. Because I'll sew these, I think, into the side seam. And then, right? Yeah. Put those in the side seam, and then put the other tie in the side seam. And then I think we want, okay, gotta do some thinking in my brain here, unless they tell me explicitly in the instructions here. Okay. On the left side, pin on your shirt ties into the side seam of the shirt 1 inch from the bottom of the garment. Okay, so we'll put them up 1 inch, and that's just how that's gonna be. Okay. So, if, oh no, a pin fell out right onto my foot. Okay, so if I want it to tie to the right side, this side seam needs the tie. And then, do I need, what direction does it need to go? I guess long side up, I think. Okay. Ooh, good thing I caught that, because that would have not been good for a Freya. It might have fallen on her little puppy body. Okay. Okay. Ever so carefully to make sure actually capturing that in the side seam. Okay, then that has to go on the other side. And okay. Cool. So that guy is all sewn up, and then I need to do basically the same thing to these guys. And I think just putting them like one on top of the other is probably fine. Do I need to leave a little gap? Maybe. I don't know. Probably should. I probably should leave a little bit of a gap. I guess I should probably put my little apron back on. I guess I could probably switch that back from back to my tabletop view, so you can see what I'm actually even doing here right now. Okay. Cool. And that will go there. That should do it. And then it's 2.5 inches. So there's that. And then we'll do that one here. Okay. Really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, hoping this works. Because I am deviating, I feel like, quite a bit from the pattern. Just like as a whole. Doing different sleeves. Doing a little bit of a different closure. I mean, yeah, the sleeves are different and they did not turn out how I thought they were going to turn out. I think they're going to be more of like a 3/4 sleeve situation. Which I think is fine. I don't know, I guess we'll see how it turns out. Okay. Oh, gotta get this guy back in my side seam. Okay. There we go. Okay, now I think now I can sew the side seam and the sleeve seam, and then I can also do the right, because that makes sense. Oh no. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, I'm panicking. Is this gonna work? Okay, let's flip her right sides out and just make sure that I'm not doing this completely back asswards, which is not impossible. Okay, so then these will... Oh my god, I didn't even put these in right. I'm so glad I did this. Okay. Yeah. And then I need to put them at like a 1/2 inch. Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah. That would have not been good, I'll tell you what. Because then that would have been not even on the inside where they were supposed to be. That would have definitely been on the outside. Okay. Okay, and that's why it's always good to double check. Okay. All right, let's do this. I think maybe I should put 2 pins in that so that isn't swirling around all over the place. Cool. And then, uh-oh, all of my pins are coming out, so that's, don't love that. And then we'll do like so. And then maybe, boop. I am sure there's like a way better and more efficient way to do that, but whatever. Okay, now I gotta pin that guy. Uh-oh. Pin disappeared, but
We good, we good. Boop. Okay, now I can double check and make sure that everything is where it's supposed to go. Okay, so those will be on the inside, attached to that. And then this will have this guy attached to it. And then that'll tie in the corner. Okay, that's good. Okay, everything's good. So now we can actually sew up the side seams and then add the facing, the little ribbon facing. Perfect. Uh-oh. Oh no. Velcro grabbed a single thread in the fabric and made a run, so whatever, it's fine. Okay, let's switch over to the sewing machine. I think I'm going to sew up the side seams, and then probably after that wrap up the stream, I think, just because it's already 1 and you know what that means, I'm hungry, so let's switch her on over. Beep. Cool. And then get everything nice and adjusted. Okay, hopefully this all goes well. I think I'm gonna start on the side with the elastic. Just to, I feel like that's gonna be time went by fast this morning. Yeah, honestly, I can't believe it's already like 1 p.m. That was a quick 4 hours, dude. Well, I guess I've been working on the stream for 4 hours. It's been like 3.5 hours. Uh-oh, that's on the wall. Ooh, I need my little pin bucket. But yeah, that was like a fast stream. And I feel like by the time I'm done sewing up the side seams and stuff, it's already gonna be like at 4 hours, I'm sure. Okay. That grab? It did. I think that's gonna pull out, so I'm gonna have to sew that down extra, I think. And I think that that one didn't even get caught in the side seam, so that's fine. We'll just have to go over that part a little extra. Uh-oh. Thought I grabbed the pin, but I just grabbed a bunch of threads in the fabric. Oh well, it's fine. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll be able to add in the facing and hem the sleeves and hem the bottom, and then I think it'll be done. So that's like a pretty quick project. Oh, I probably should be taking these pins out. I love how I was just like, oh, they're bending my needle, and then I just literally keep running over them. I guess this needle's kind of like already... like already bent, it's already messed up, already has to be replaced, so it's probably not that big of a deal. Tinkling of a pin. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm gonna oh, Jesus. Sew these down a little more. So they aren't just like flying around, a little more secure. Down in like a little box shape. Uh-oh. Oh no. Because that, I think, keeps down the elastic the best. But now I'm wondering, like, is this elastic too strong for this fabric? Maybe, I don't know. Take all the precautions. And even so, an X in the middle. And then that guy will be done, then we can do... Boop. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Hopefully, I don't know, that makes me a little nervous just because this fabric is so delicate that I'm like, is that even gonna work? But I guess as long as, no, I think that'll be okay. So as long as I'm not like yarking it around, should be good. Alright, pink. Still doing good? Alright, perfecto. And then I think, can I get these pins out? I don't even know. Okay. I think, oh, that's right off of the elastic there. Okay. Okay, I don't even know why I was putting this top off for so long. Because this has like actually been a pretty easy project, relatively speaking. Like it went by pretty fast. Because I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna be able to finish this tomorrow. Which is always nice. I feel like I'm always down for a quick project. Because I feel like too many long projects are just like discouraging, I guess. Because I feel like you just for so long are not getting the satisfaction of that like fucking serotonin dopamine rush of completing a project. So it's like, I don't even wanna. Okay, cool. Okay, that's sewn in. Now we can sew this side down. Easy peasy. I think a pin totally flew out of here, so I'll have to make sure everything's nice and lined up. I feel like after that one time that the stream like went down while I was like sewing on my machine. I'm like now panicked. I feel like is it still running? Are we still live? Like, although truthfully, I'm like, do I know enough of anything to fix it? Who can say? Okay. What's going on here? Cool. Okay. Sorry, the fabric was like so twisted up there. Wasn't really sure where I was at. Okay. I really should try French seams, honestly, when I do projects like this, that I'm like not gonna serge closed because I don't have enough of this like pink fabric to serge closed. Because then a French seam actually encases all of these raw ratty edges inside of itself, which is really cool. And it looks nice and professional. So maybe in next project I'll have to try French seams. Because unfortunately in this project, kind of two balls deep in this to change the type of seam I'm doing. I feel like I can smell chocolate, which is like kind of weird because I don't know, am I having a stroke? Who knows? Oh, little baby boy Isaac is having a puppy dream. Side seams and sleeves are sewn together, baby. Oh, shit. Cool. Okay, let's check her out. Get everything nice and switched around here. Oh. A part of that's peeking out of the seam. That's fine. I can just trim it up, I think. Okay. Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to like very, very carefully trim that so I don't also just cut open the seam. I could open the seam back up and take it out, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I might do that off stream just so I can get that wrapped up really quick. Dang, you made that fast. Yeah, it's like almost done. Next time it'll just be doing the facing and hemming and then it's done. Pretty easy peasy project. Oh my god, my like side seams and my arm seams are almost like perfectly like perpendicular, and that makes me very happy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I don't want to take that out though because I did all the cross situations. Okay, well, before I start getting too deep into that situation, I think I'm gonna wrap her up, and then we can finish it tomorrow morning because I'm currently starving. I'm actually like looking at this. I'm like, I could probably do like a little stitch like around, like get this as close to the seam as possible, and then do like a little tiny like closer up little stitch to cover it up instead of trying to trim it down. But yeah, anyway, yeah, food time for sure. I'm like starving. Thanks everybody who came and hung out. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good day. But yeah, I'm very, very hungry, so I'm just gonna go. But hopefully I will see everybody tomorrow, same time, same place. I mean, well, I don't have to like log back into all of my things, so should be earlier tomorrow. But yeah, anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Jinsha, oh, well, hello. You must have been lurking. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done. Honestly, me neither. So I'm very excited. So hopefully everybody stops back by to see what it looks like. But I will see all of you tomorrow. Goodbye!